I don't know how many days we are in a row going to Starbucks, but it's definitely something I'm not proud of. If you wanna, I'm just saying. It's a classic song. Little known fact, I think Jimmy exposed me in one of his videos. I used to be obsessed with Nelly. When I was in like kindergarten, for whatever reason, I think my sister put me on to Nelly, and I would rap Nelly in school and stuff, and it was a little inappropriate for the time, and I didn't know that I was rapping about weed and drugs and screwing girls, but it was cute, right? So, on another note, we're at Starbucks, and yep, where was I going with that? Oh yeah, this is my cup holder car. So the funny thing is, this is really the only car that I drive to, you know, my morning commute that has cup holders. But the funny thing is, this is also the only car that has enough traction to actually make the coffee fall out of the cup holder and then spill over my car. So these cars actually have a third cup holder. It's a secret. You only know this if you have the car in here. But the thing is, you can't use it at the same time as an armrest. So if you've got tired arms like I do, this is kind of useless. But this will support up to 800 horsepower and about 700 foot-pounds of torque if you're putting it down in like third gear and up. Lower gears, it still might shake enough, but higher gears, these are rated to up to 800 horsepower. Got that crackle pop mod. I will say though, although the cup holder is rated to 800 horsepower, if you do have a Brembo big brake kit, you can have enough stopping force to actually make the coffee lift from this cup holder. So be very careful if you have a lot of stopping power. Call me Mr. Popcorn. It's the only way that you can let people know that you're here when you have an N54. You just gotta pop a lot. What is this guy doing? Look at Alberto on his little table. So Tommy got these injectors clean. There's a shop local to us that had like an injector cleaner, so just lubed up the O-rings. We're gonna put them back in, and hopefully this thing will run good. Got to see how this thing runs with the new injectors. I wonder if I'll have to adjust the cold start.
If you can get 3280, I'll come in. Oh, okay, okay.
Felt like I was floating.
I should have filmed James' reaction.
I felt like we were hydroplaning. That was the craziest feeling ever.
This engine has never sounded so healthy before. Here, can you film? We'll do a quick pull. It's like, it's been randomly missing so much that I just got used to it and just accepted that that's how the car runs. But it's so good now. It's so much better. So I think what actually caused it wasn't the Ignite, but we had some like garbage E85 up in Connecticut. And from what I understand, I was talking to Cletus. He says Ignite, you tie it out like clean injectors often, but all that stuff on the fuel filter, he never sees any of that. So he thinks it was just running like crappy pump gas. So what do you think, James?
Dude, this, it feels so like mechanical. Like everything is working together. Oh no, I'm not ready. Legit, like that's the scariest thing ever right there. That's terrifying.
Dude, that's 15, way scarier, brother. It's a good car. It's weird though, it doesn't spin as much in third anymore now. It's not overboosting like crazy. Nice pulls in this car. Just like that, my white wheels go to black.
Oh man.
You like it?
Dude, that.
I should have had you filming your face.
I'm so scared.
My face is just like focused on everything. Smell them bricks?
I haven't ridden in your car since. I haven't ridden in one of your cars since track day, and it was your S15. No, your S13. And I don't even know. It was what, 2 years ago, maybe 1 year ago. So that car is probably totally different now too.
Yeah, so this car is a decent amount of grip compared to my S13. The BMW though, I think is the scariest to ride in because that car just like hooks.
Oh,
but
yeah.
it's not as loud and like visceral feeling.
Yeah.
It's just very like smooth and quiet.
This one, I feel like I can feel every single part doing its job, and that's like I've never felt that before.
It's sick that this car works now.
Yeah. This
I was
feels great.
so over this car, I was ready to just like be done with it.
Really?
Yeah. It just was being too finicky.
So all it was your fuel, the fuel pump stuff. That was it.
Yeah, I should have just cleaned it earlier.
Huh. I'm not ready. I'm not ready.
Feels like a new car. It's sick. Should make a video. My new Skyline. All right, so check out what we just got back today from the ceramic coating guy. This is the manifold that's gonna be going on the R33. Got a super baller top mount dock race T3 manifold. This thing's gonna sound super sick. Kind of jealous of it too. I wish that I had a single wastegate on mine, but I have dual wastegates. So that's why, if you remember, I had all the issues with lines melting and having a hard time accessing them. I think this one will be much more serviceable and much easier to work on. It looks sick, ceramic coating and everything. So it's tight. It's like the best of the best. I flipped the whole engine over just so I could get a closer look and see how this pan was actually modified. And it looks like, basically, I'm guessing this is something to do with the all-wheel drive system. They kind of like plated and welded up to cover the hole. Did axles come out of here, Alberto? Mm-hmm. Really?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. How does that even work?
Yeah, like,
Huh.
I'll shoot it later.
Looks confusing. Look at my little chair and my little table. It actually works perfect for this stuff.
Right?
Alberto's so stoked that I'm doing this so he doesn't have to.
You like playing with Play-Doh in your little tiny
dude, this stuff
chair.
is gross. We will never use orange silicone. I don't know what kind of idiot YouTuber used this orange junk. Actually, this is OEM stuff, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I know who would use the OEM junk. Took me like a solid hour and a half to get it up to standard, but I ended up using a wire wheel and got this pan looking minty fresh, if you guys remember how gross it was before. So Alberto's finishing cleaning up the block. I got the oil pan almost ready, and then we'll decide whether I want to scrape it some more or probably just put a light coat of silver on it to make it look fresh again. I thought when we were first doing these cabinets that it was going to be overkill, but as you can see, we're making very much full use of this space. Terra Firma, the place I was telling you guys about that I got my R32 floor mats from, that's doing the carpets and stuff for R32s. They came in clutch because a lot of this RB stuff is really, really finicky and kind of hard to find places that have it in stock, and it takes forever. So all the stuff they had in stock and I was able to get. Nismo engine mounts for the car. I just want to make sure that the engine isn't going to rock side to side that much and hit the turbo on the strut tower like I had the issue with my R32, so these will stiffen it up a bit. We also have the steel style exhaust manifold gasket. Lasts a little bit better than the ones that come in the OEM kit. Also got a Nismo thermostat, a fluid damper. These things are on back order everywhere, so this will help a lot with kind of shock with the higher RPM and if there's any sort of rev limiter stuff. And then we got a full OEM gasket kit from them. So we're gonna open this up and see what we got to work with, since our goal today is going to be to get the engine regasketed. But I gotta give a massive thank you to Terra Firma for helping me get this stuff so fast. If you guys wanna check them out, I'll put a link in the description. They're pretty local to us too, so it's shipped here super fast. But if you need RB stuff, these guys come in clutch. This is the stock style versus the nice multi-layer steel style. This is what we run on all our cars. So in this gasket kit, the main thing that's actually really, really convenient to have that these cars do have issues with, I know the ITBs tend to have leakage issues, so being able to replace all the intake manifold gaskets will be super, super handy. Got an OEM N1 pump. We were just talking about how typically we would have been doing a project like this at the house, and it would have been so difficult. Alberto, look at all this stuff.
You basically have two full engines taken apart and the whole front of a car apart. all in this area, plus new parts.
Yeah.
That's a lot of stuff.
So it's a little bit of a mess. It'd be rad if we had a little bit more table space. So
Take a picture of this.
I know. Well, let me clean the floors first. They're a little gross. It was pretty cool having all this stuff disassembled and seeing all the differences, like firsthand between 25 and 26 stuff. It's not like often that you just to look at a 25 head side by side with 26 head. Same thing, oil pans, blocks. It's cool. Alberto's getting driven crazy because the I don't know if you guys remember, the head on that engine was kind of like golden brown, and he wanted it to look all clean and stuff, so he cleaned everything up. And what did you notice is different with the 26 that we want?
The lifters are way different, and it doesn't have hydraulic lifters, just solid lifters with a shim.
And
you gotta make sure to label them and put the shim right where it was. If not, then you're gonna have ticking issues. So we don't want that. Especially
with my RB, if you guys remember when we put it back together, we actually had a lifter failure. Was it a lifter failure or a valve issue? I feel like we had a bad lifter and a valve issue, right?
It had a bad lifter, yeah. There was a broken lifter.
And that's why that valve wasn't opening and we lost compression and one cylinder wasn't firing. But we won't have that issue. So it's almost like beefed up valve train from the factory. So that's kind of cool.
I think it had like 2 broken lifters. Remember the machine shop caught one, then I took all of them apart and I saw that one of them was on the little shim part inside wasn't sliding properly, so it was kind of stuck.
Yeah.
And I fixed it, so then after that it's been pretty good.
Yeah. I think it's kind of funny because once we got the garage done at my house, all the projects kind of ramped up and we started tackling way more. And now that we got the shop, well, you guys can see we're head first right now. Check out this sweet carbon fiber hood prop I got from Anthony. Lolo Carbon, the guy that made me my roof. Super lightweight. I feel like you guys probably could have called this, but it wouldn't. Like, I've been going at the attitude with this R33 that I'm building it as if it were my own street car. And what is the one thing that all my cars have in common? Cannon doors. So we got a set of R33 Gannon doors. They're actually pretty hard to source. So if you like Gannon doors, sick, the R33 will have Gannon doors. If you don't like Gannon doors, you can pull these off the car and probably sell them for about $1 grand. So you got some more cash in the giveaway if you don't like Gannon doors. But obviously we gotta get them painted to match the color of the car, but they're gonna look sick. I'm not too concerned about this RB in regards to having oiling issues like mine. I think the main reason why mine has so much issues is because I use it for drifting, so it's constantly sitting at a higher RPM and the head is filling up with oil. In addition to not running the same oil pump that I have in my car that flows a higher volume, we are running the N1 pump, which is like the updated OEM pump. Alberto is also right now drilling holes to mount our head drain kit. Everybody keeps telling me to add one of these to my car that doesn't know I already have one. Basically what this is, it presses right into the back of the head and it allows you to attach some -10 lines and be able to actually drain the oil from the back of the head, helping with a lot of blow-by and other issues that you get with these RBs when you're revving high. So trying to be preventative and do this stuff while we have the engine out. Those taps came out really nice. So the way that he did that, he kind of had a vacuum going at the same time that he tapped those holes. And then that's just right where the head drain will bolt to. And while he's been doing that, I've been trying to clean up this like primary intake manifold. It sucks that we can't just put a new one on here, but I want to keep ITBs because I feel like that's rad. So I've just been trying to clean up the best I can with a wire wheel. Try to get it look a little bit nicer. Oh, I showed you the bottom. The top looks better. So it's looking a little bit cleaner. Right now I just got to sit here and take off all these old gaskets with a razor blade, which takes forever. Like 30 minutes deep on this. It's taking forever. Alberto's already to painting the block. There, you got the head drain on there, and I'm still scraping away. Alberto, is there a more efficient way of doing this?
Yeah.
What?
Scrape harder.
This guy. I'd love to just hit it with a wire wheel, but because it's aluminum, Alberto said it'd eat away at it, so.
You can just get a brass wheel, and it won't damage it.
Well, what are we doing?
Oh no, get a brass wheel.
I'm like 4 hours deep into this. Probably 2 hours in trying to scrape away this gasket, and it is just the biggest nightmare in the world. So I'm just gonna suck it up and drive 5 minutes down the road to go get a brass wire wheel like I should have done in the first place. In the meantime, Alberto's basically built the entire engine while I've been scraping off a gasket, and by that I mean he painted the block and it looks phenomenal. So, laughing at me. Silly guy. Head drain looks sick. It's crazy how much better it looks already. I got so excited about going to Ace that I didn't even think to look up the hours. So I think what I'm gonna do is just continue to clean up other stuff, and I'm gonna be smart. And I've already wasted so much time in this that I'm just gonna wait until I have the proper tool and I'll finish this. And tonight I'll just work on cleaning up other stuff. so we can try to start to get stuff assembled on this guy. 4 hours later, still scraping. Alberto came and helped me. He thought this was gonna be some easy job. He thought that maybe I was just being a stupid idiot. But Alberto, tell him.
All right, first things first. Blade. Normally you use one of these type of blades. They work very well, but this one is like no longer good. Bye, blade.
And I just want to throw it out there, Alberto. Who was like, Alberto, stop using that dull blade. Let me get you a new one. It'll be so much easier.
Adam.
This guy.
So, new blade, and a few minutes later, and you got this.
No, we're still talking like 30 minutes later. Right,
30 minutes later.
At least. I've spent 5 days on this.
So there's techniques. You can do it like this to get it off, and then we also notice that when you have like very thin stuff, you can just like hold it straight and do like this. Do not do like this because you'll just scratch it. So like do like this, it won't dig into the intake and actually get it all out. It's almost done. See like these little specks right here, right over here. It's gonna get that out. Boom. Neat.
It's just like, don't get me wrong, I'm really stoked on building this car and stuff, but spending the time and spending hours scraping gasket off for someone else's car, it doesn't feel the same. Like, I'm really stoked and I'm hyped to build this and I'm gonna build it really nice, but you know, I guess this is how you feel all the time, Alberto?
So now he understands how I feel when I have to build his engines and see him drive around. I'm over here like,
but I think
he's having fun.
We're both in the same boat though, because I feel like we both do nicer work on other people's stuff. So like, you do nicer work on my stuff than your own. Yeah. I do nicer work on giveaway cars than my own because I can't
ever spend this amount of time on my car. It's too much.
If it was my car, I'd just be like, just buy a new intake. No, just kidding. We're trying to keep the ITBs.
Meanwhile, on this side of the engine, I got all the gasket removed from here, the exhaust side, the intake side, the thermostat housing, the oil filter housing part where it touches the block, or oil filter housing provision thingy. And now I have to take the oil pump off so I can then scrape that gasket too, and then put a fresh new one that's over there.
No, not more gasket. Hopefully this stuff is easier to take off.
It will stay behind.
No. Alberto's complaining because my memory card isn't big enough, whatever, and it's running out of memory. Enough of the wire wheeling. Got that all nice, ready for the new oil pump. Now it's time to make some power.
Here you go.
Oh, you're gonna make me loosen it?
Yeah.
You're trying to make me look like a fool?
No, it's not that hard.
Oh. Usually when Alberto makes me do things, he's like, oh, I'm gonna make him struggle. So the technique with this, you brace the block.
Let me see Adam's technique.
So that way it doesn't move.
He's trying to give a straight face.
So these stock head gaskets are actually good for quite a bit of power, and we're only gonna be in like the 450 to 500 range. Probably don't need to do studs, but we're gonna just go kind of a little bit above and beyond and do studs. And there's kind of like a technique to do it to where you can replace them without pulling the head gasket, so we don't have to go and get stuff machined. Alberto, what is that process? Just one at a time?
Yeah, you take one at a time in the same order that you will put them on torquing sequence. So you just take one at a time from outside and then working your way to the middle. So we're taking one at a time. What I'm doing is we're putting them in all at 80 pounds, so they're pretty much even with stock. But the ARP instructions show that these go to 105 pounds of torque. Oh, here it is. So we're doing 80 first to get them all even, and then we're gonna torque them to 105 pounds of torque, which is a lot because they're half-inch studs.
Not a lot.
Super beefed up.
Yeah, well,
RB26.
That's one other thing that's different with the RB26, right? So this is half-inch studs, where the RB25, what were they? Like what?
I think 7/16 or something. It said. I don't know.
Are we sure about that? Or people in the comments gonna be like, no?
No, yeah, these ones are definitely thicker. Where's the stock bolts that I took out of? Wait.
So while we're talking about the differences with the RB26 head,
Bring stud.
Okay. While we're talking about the differences with the RB26s, I feel like it would probably make sense to mention some other stuff that I've learned just from reading online. Again, I don't know if maybe it's right or wrong. Too big.
Yeah, it fits on the whole of the thing, but the thread inside is much smaller.
Yeah.
So let's use way smaller bolts. So the RB26 is way nicer, beefed up.
Hold more power.
Yes.
And the RB26 head, you can fit bigger cams in, and it's supposed to have a little bit better exhaust ports or intake valve.
I don't know about that one.
Well, I read that one online.
We don't have the head out to like compare it, so I can't really tell.
Yeah.
But look how nice this is looking now. It's like, it was so ugly before. Now it's like, to my standards. Now this is something we can work on.
Yeah.
Whoever's gonna drive this is gonna be really happy with it.
Yeah, they're just gonna open up the engine bay. They're just gonna lick everything.
At least you can like take, when you go add oil, it's gonna look so nice. Inside here, it's not all like brown anymore. Look at this. This is so satisfying. Even here, it's all cleaned up.
It was so bad before.
That's the way it should be.
Like, it was a low mileage engine, but it almost looked like the whoever had it before like didn't change their oil enough. Or could that have been from maybe cooking oil? If you like get your oil too hot, will that put a glaze on things?
It does, but probably like not the best oil, and maybe too long between oil change intervals.
Got it. It's weird how like drained I feel in the beginning of the day, and I feel like that's probably the biggest problem I have with the warehouse, is just because there's so many distractions, so many people here, and so much stuff going on. We're like late at night, it's so easy to focus, and I feel like energized and in the zone. Kind of want candy right now, but Alberto's gonna shed some light on a cool little method of putting some ARP studs on. Show them how you lube it.
All right, a little ketchup packet from ARP. It's gonna be great ketchup. Don't try it at home. Probably doesn't taste the best. And we're gonna apply a little bit to the top threads like this.
$1,000 to eat that right now.
No. What's with you with the eating stuff? And then we're gonna put the nut. You can see now, once the nut start going down, it'll start to push some of the grease. Then take the washer, put it on. So now there's lube between the washer and the nut.
Let me get a good zoom. It's not wanting to focus on your black gloves. Give me a second. Just don't move your hands. I can see. No. All right, show.
All right, there you go. See, there's like a little like bead of grease. So it's lubed. Now, this will make it a lot easier. You have everything assembled. Which one? Okay, right here. Then you can just twist the whole assembly all at once. This will save a lot of time and a lot of mess, because that stuff is like anti-seize. It gets everywhere. Once you try to wipe it off, it gets on that too, and then you touch the wipe again, it gets on the other thing. It's all over the place.
Not to mention too, if you like miss the stud or whatever and you get it all in the engine and everything, it's kind of gross.
Then by hand, you tighten the knot all the way down. That's why I didn't put it too much. I put it flush, as you can see. Can you zoom in there? There was still a couple threads left from the top, so I put it flush. That way I can tighten the stud all the way down and not hit the knot on the head. All right. Now, take our torque wrench. I'm gonna tighten this one 280 as specified before.
Easy. The camera.
Right here.
What?
There.
Like that?
Hey, look. This is how we do it. See, you're over there. While we're over here, like, look. Wait, it's facing the wrong thing. There you go. More. There. Look, look. That's how we do RVs over here. Where's yours?
Just quickly mocked the first stage of the intake manifold just to see how my cleaning job looked. Not too bad. Not too bad. We'll pull this thing off though, because it kind of makes the whole thing look less nice than it is.
What the?
It's around here. There we have it. It's getting kind of late. So probably just resume this. I don't know if I'm gonna make this a video right now. Oh look, I mocked up the manifold just to see how it looked. It looks pretty sweet. So might end this video here. I might combine it with Sunday's video, since I wanted to try to have like the engine all gasketed and kind of sealed up for this video. But regardless, if I am uploading this video without the other video stuff combined, details in the description if you want to figure out how to get a chance to win the R33. And tomorrow you can expect a drifting video. We're gonna go drifting, and I think I might take the S15 on the oval, so that should be pretty fun. But what do you think? Things look pretty rad. What's up, guys? Just skating my way to work. I'm just kidding, I've been here, but I've been editing all day because all that drift footage always takes me forever to go through. But Alberto's been here trying to get some stuff. I knew I was gonna hit a stop rock. His wheels are too small. Ego's too big, let me tell you. But anyway, Alberto's been here and he got some stuff done on the engine, and he so kindly filmed with his camera that he just got. He got the same camera as me now. We're twinning. Found it? Found it? Okay, cool. So he got some of the gasket stuff done in regards to like the oil pump and the water pump. So I will put in some of his footage now, since this is just one long video, because I want to make sure we didn't miss any of the technical details of some of the OEM gasket stuff. But right now he is reassembling the head. Oh, we'll just switch to the other stuff that he filmed.
I finished cleaning up the last bits of the block. Right now I have the rear main seal off, so I have to take the big gasket of this thing. So it's an oil retainer. You can see it's kind of like pretty old, so we want to put a new one. But first I have to scrape the rest of the silicone off this thing, like I did on the block. Let's focus this. Yeah, it's pretty clean now. Just gotta hit it with some brake cleaner to get the rest of the little bits from the silicone out. There's no oil pan, so nothing can fall into the engine because it's open deck right now. I have the lifters back in this thing. This thing sounds like fart. Oh, it's not doing it anymore. Here we have the rear main seal plate all cleaned up, ready for a new seal. All the silicone has been removed from it. All the silicone has been removed from the grooves, so we can put new one in place. So now let's look through the stash of gaskets, and we found our gasket right here. This gasket already comes pre-looped from the factory, so you don't have to apply any grease to it. So it's basically put it on this, then I'm gonna use this flat piece of iron to hold it straight. Then I'm gonna tap on this. And we have like these corners a little bit tighter. You want it to be like flush with the rim here, and the gasket is installed. It also has these little legs that stick out, so you pretty much mount the seal so it bottoms with this, and then the top should look like this. Now apply some silicone to the plate. That's such a nice bead right there, look at that. I took the liberty of applying a little bit of oil to the crankshaft. That way it doesn't like get caught up when the seal doesn't get caught up installing it. So you're just gonna like slide this through here and gently put it through the crankshaft. Well, I'm trying to figure out a good spot to film this. There we go. Now to put all the little 6mm bolts back in it. This is the rear main seal installed. This is about how much silicone you want to be sticking out. That's how you know you put enough, but not too much. And Adam got a big box over there.
So you know all that line that we just ordered?
What? Oh.
We probably have enough to do this whole build in this box.
That's a lot of lines.
That's a lot of lines, dude.
Yep.
Shout out to Vibrant. Best line in the game.
Right? The best. Now it's time to install the new N1 OEM Nissan oil pump. This one also comes with the seal grease add already installed, so it makes it easier. But one very important thing about this, we're using these OEM paper gaskets, but the problem with these gaskets is that they get stuck, really stuck in the parts, so that it becomes a real pain to remove these gaskets from the surfaces. So how to fix that? I'm going to be using Permatex high-tack sprayer gasket. This thing pretty much coats red, and it allows for a better seal of the gasket. So if, in case you have any imperfection or the gasket might sweat, whatever, this takes care of it. Plus, it also helps remove the gasket and service the parts a lot easier, since the gasket does not get fully stuck to the parts. You can just remove it a lot easier and save a lot of time when servicing your engine. So I'm gonna take the gasket and just spray it a little bit on it so it coats it like red. And it's good to go. I'm going to line it up right here using the stock pins. Put it in place. Like this. Don't worry about the floor, a little brake cleaner and it takes it right out. See there, all gone. Now I'm gonna take the oil pump and line it up right here. Slide it through. Make sure the seal goes in properly, doesn't get pinched. It's gonna like get a wiggle in a circular motion until it goes right in it.
Cool coming from all the SRs we've done, where you're constantly using RTV and stuff, that it like comes with the gaskets just ready to go.
Well, yeah, this one is a paper gasket, but like I mentioned, I use a spray so it doesn't get stuck in whoever have to service it. Hopefully for a very long time, but whenever it does have to be open, we won't have the same issue that it took us hours to get the gasket off.
Yeah.
Finally got this in. I had to put the crank bolt in and clock the crankshaft so I matched the engagement on the oil pump to the crankshaft color. So I finally got that in. Now it's just to put all the bolts back in it. Now it's time to install the timing stuff. So we're gonna start by putting everything that goes in the timing components on the crankshaft. So we're gonna put this back thruster sleeve. This holds the timing belt in place and keep it from moving towards the engine. And then we put on the actual timing gear, which is your crank gear. This moves the belt and makes the camshaft spin. So we'll put this like this, kinda one-handed.
Let me just acknowledge that Alberto's saving the day right now, because he's actually filming stuff. What I get wrapped up in cleaning things, and I get like, I'm not even supposed to be doing this right now. I'm supposed to be uploading my video from yesterday. And Alberto's saving the day with filming. But look at, I mean, this is just degreaser. Look how much nicer they look already.
That is nicer.
Just scotch brite them up a little bit, and they should look really good.
Yep, keep up the good work, sir. Alright, but we gotta keep pressing this thing back in. It's kinda like very tight, so we're gonna probably end up using this socket, and then I can just put it through and just like tap it in there. Alright, timing gear is installed. Then you have this bigger washer thing that's gonna go through here like this, and this pretty much locks the timing belt in one place. So now you see you have a front groove and it has a rear groove, so the timing belt can stay in place. Nothing else on the engine holds thrust on the timing belt but this, so make sure to not lose or misplace these washers.
There's a little before and after of the throttle bodies. Look how crazy the difference is. One thing that I did find out you have to be really careful with, and I'm glad that I didn't, you have to resist the urge to clean this stuff, because even though it looks like buildup, there's actually a factory goop that Nissan puts on the throttle bodies to make sure that they seal. And if you clean it all off, they won't seal properly and it'll raise your idle. So it's a good thing we didn't do that, but you can always check if you accidentally did it by holding it up to light and see if any light gets through.
Guys, you have no idea how satisfied I am with how this engine is looking right now. Here's a before and after comparison of what it looked like before versus how it's so far looking now.
I think it looked better before.
What is wrong with you?
A lot of things, my brother. A lot of things.
Alright, this is the before. This is how it looked versus look how it looks now. Burned. We should put some like Pit Mariah kind of like music going on. The little like showcase of how beautiful this engine is looking at. Everything is cleaned up. And you say it's the same, or like very. What is the matter with you?
I'm kidding, brother. Relax, brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, brother.
Beautifulness and shadow area. Light side of the block, dark side of the block. Which one do you pick?
I got all the ITB stuff looking really, really nice with just a wire wheel. Only thing I gotta finish up is just taking off the springs and just kind of cleaning those off because they're kind of rusty. Tapping in the new cam seals. Seems to be all fresh. So there's actually another company that sells a bunch of OEM Nissan stuff that hit me up from the other side of the country over in California. They hit me up on Instagram. Their Instagram name is Nissan Parts, and they wanted to contribute something towards the RB26 build, and they sent us a timing kit. So in addition to all the new gaskets, we also are gonna have brand new pulleys, a new spring, and a new belt. So this thing's gonna be like super, super fresh. You just look at this one for the orientation of the spring.
Alright, so it goes to the top.
Any words of advice when doing new pulleys?
It's really simple. Just make sure you have all the hardware. You can see when I took this off, it has a thick washer and it has a little like bent washer, which is a compression washer. So make sure you put those in the same orientation back. So the thin washer goes towards the pulley, then washer, the bigger one, and the nut. And then this is pretty much has a spring to put tension on the pulley, where you then adjust with this. So we're gonna put this through here, and then so the spring has to go on top like that. So then it can like put tension on the belt that way. Then we put washer, second washer and nut, and we're good. Then this one's pretty much pretty simple, bolt, and then put it in here like this.
Now what's the main purpose for replacing them? Do the bearings go bad?
Yeah, the bearings go bad, so you start getting like a bunch of belt noise. So it sounds almost like a clutch rattle, like weird. So like you don't want that. If that goes bad, then everything's gonna go bad. It also causes belt vibration, which starts deteriorating quicker, and you don't want that either.
The RB26 covers are currently at Randy's getting painted pink to match the outside of the car. So in the meantime, just to keep dirt and debris out, I have my old RB25 covers from my RB25 that we can just put on there just to make it look a little bit nicer and keep any sort of debris or anything from entering the engine.
I don't know if it'll fit.
What? Why wouldn't it?
We'll try because of this.
No, I think it will. Oh, because of the baffling? Yeah, you're right. I'm just finishing up assembling the ITBs now that they're all cleaned up and everything. What's that I hear?
I skated all the way out here from Mexico.
Alberto placed an order from Tijuana Flats and Bert came and hand delivered it for him.
I'm working all the jobs here. I'm back in town for 3 days. I'm doing everything.
I heard you and Albert are moving into a new apartment together.
Yeah, it's getting pretty serious. as soon as this whole delivery gig blows up.
I swear every time I turn to this side of the room, there's something going on. There's either a man in a hammock or a wild big boost playing with packages.
I'm making a package igloo.
You're making an igloo?
It's easy than making it with snow.
Bet. This looks kind of fun, so I'm gonna join the fun and we're gonna time lapse this igloo.
Oh, we're so close.
well, we tried, but we've got an RB26 to build. So, until next time, packages. So that timing belt that Nissan Parts sent us, check out what it comes with. The Super JDM timing sticker. It's baller. I don't know what this means. Oh, does this mean it's good for an extra 100,000 kilometers and you write the mileage it was replaced at here?
Yes.
Interesting.
So we gotta wait until we get the car back to see what mileage. I don't remember.
Yeah.
That would be cool. That's really awesome. Like
Super JDM. Marking.
and down here.
Marking. That makes it easy. And is there marks on all the belt?
Oh, there is.
Well, that makes it super easy, huh?
Yeah. So I'm gonna put the bottom mark real quick. Like the timing marks are with this and this, but the belt made it easier. So there's a mark on the bottom side here, and then you got the line from this dot to this line, and there's a line there too, and here as well. So you like double make sure your timing marks are right.
You like can't mess it up.
Yeah.
I've spent more time wire wheeling than doing anything else, and I just found out today that Jimmy has a portable soda blaster that he uses for all this stuff. That must be nice. Any comment?
Yeah, we need one of those.
How sick is that? He says it makes a mess, but like I've spent so much time wire wheeling that I'm like super jealous.
Come on, wire wheel that thing.
It works well, it just takes forever. Seen people have issues with these before. You gotta make sure that this little guy's up top. This little guy's what lets air escape and pass through. Otherwise you'll get air bubbles trapped there. So, gotta keep it pointing up. Stay. Don't laugh at me, Boost. See, did my wire wheel job do a decent enough job making this look like the new water pump? I'd say so. I'd say it's gonna blend in. Just like that. I think the most exciting thing about assembling this thing is just getting rid of all the junk that's laying around. Too bad that we can't do that with both engines, huh?
This is so hard.
You gonna try to lay beads in the air, dude? Look at that. Big Boost Pro gasket installer. That good old Permatex right stuff. What'd you mess up?
No, that is hard. It's like pressing the screw just enough.
I have the desire to learn Picky Bixton, so I'm gonna try it. God damn it. This trick within 10 tries, I'm gonna go make a water run. Never done this before, this is a hard one. And the gear oil goes all over my skateboard. Sick. Sick. I'm trying to use gear oil on my freaking skateboard. God. I almost landed it. That's pretty close. There's literally gear oil on my wheels. It's terrifying. Like seriously, do I brake clean my wheels? Oh my god, there's gear oil all over my board. That's so gross. We're going to Wawa. You see that? Dude, that was fire. LZ skates. Here, I'll help you pull it off. The bell pin that just went down?
Yeah.
I got it.
Just gotta make sure the gasket lines up with the valve and instead of crushing it, so it lines up good.
Yeah, I'm through. What? Oh, so I did have it right? Bang with the bling. And then, which makes sense with this. So this we got powder coated. I do think I'm gonna put a different plenum on here, but for now, mock-up purposes, we can see how it looks. What?
I'm gonna put it right here.
Doesn't look too bad. I'm stoked on how all shiny stuff looks. It was so corroded before. We've got about as much as we can done without needing more parts and stuff, and this is kind of where we're going to leave off for today. The manifold's just kind of chilling because we might use a different one, and the turbo and exhaust manifold are kind of just chilling, just kind of temporarily, but it's looking really cool, and it's going to look even better once we get those RB26 covers. Hopefully we can get those back tomorrow, and maybe even the car, so we can start playing around with final assembly. I don't know what tomorrow holds, but these past 2 days that we've spent seem to have paid off.
A lot of work, man, but the engine is looking beautiful right now.
Dude, it's sick. We're hungry. We need some Wawa in us. So we're gonna, well, by Wawa we don't mean like water. If obviously you don't know, Wawa is a gas station. It's kind of like Sheetz, but not as good.
Wawa, I thought what was bus?
What?
What was bus?
Is what?
Bus.
Bus?
In Spanish.
Is it?
Yeah, Wawa.
Wawa? Yo,
Well, we say it different, but it's spelled the same.
Puedo ir a Wawa?
Yeah, I always thought, like, you're gonna go to the bus? Is a bus of food or something?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, it's a gas station.
Yeah, so funny story about that. When I first moved here, everyone would always like refer to things like, oh, it's behind the racetrack. And I was like, there's a racetrack? Like I would get so excited thinking that it was either A, a BMX racetrack, or B, a car racetrack. But no, it's a gas station. We have gas stations in Florida called racetracks.
And they have the 85 now. And 93 octane gas. And sandwiches and smoothies and
Not
everything.
near us.
What?
There's no 85 near us.
Well, it's like 25 minutes, 30, well, 35 minutes.
35 to
35,
40.
okay.
Yeah, but it's all good because we got Ignite Red. So, Pumpy 85. You can ruin my fuel filter another day. You're not gonna do it again. Not gonna do it today. Not tomorrow. Not the next day. Maybe the day after that. Not because I get a lot of red. So we're good.
We should get like an Ignite fuel like gas station somewhere. Wait, you have one.
Oh, this guy! He needs his own mustache. All right, guys. We'll see you tomorrow.